Hey, this is Kelsey with Creating Kelsey. I know it's been a really long time since I posted a video. The last time I posted was an update after Oscar was born. So I think it's been like 2 months, maybe even more since I last posted. But I'm okay. I'm alive, and I haven't had a lot of time, so that's all that it is. But everything's going good here. The Oscar's sleeping through the night. Killian's doing really well with him, and we're just making it through the winter. You can see the snow behind me. This is the longest that snow has been on the ground for the last couple years, like for consecutive days. I feel like usually it'll snow and then get just warm enough to melt everything and then snow again. So it's kind of nice to have snow on the ground for a while. I am trying to get to all and respond to everyone's comments. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time on the computer to like type things out, or even on my phone necessarily. So I'm going to be trying to get back to everybody about that, and I have seen the comments about how I should be getting more involved in the YouTube community, and I really want to, and I have been watching videos, but I think it'd be really difficult for me to join like live streams and stuff like that, just because I have 2 little kids, and also sometimes I just want to sleep and catch up on that. It's exhausting sometimes. I think it's because Killian, he's not a difficult kid. He's a good kid and pretty easy, but you always have to be like aware of him, and it can get tiring to always have to do that. So when he's down for naps and stuff, sometimes I just want to sleep. But that's pretty much all that's going on here. Oh, we're gonna be going on a ski trip at the end of the month in Colorado, and then heading to Florida to see family in both places. So that'll be nice. First time for Oscar flying, and I guess first time flying as a family of 4, so I'm pretty excited about that. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more. I have some works in progress to talk to you about, some finished objects, some plans for the future, things like that, some yarn talk. And don't forget to hit the little bell if you want to be updated when I post something. Hopefully it'll be more often now. I'm trying to slowly get back on the horse, so we'll see about that. Okay, so the works in progress I have. Let's see. So this is the first one. Let me do this so I can get it out of the way here. So I have this blanket I'm working on. It's a corner to corner blanket. It's really quite big. This is folded in half. Right now it's folded in half so you guys can see it. And I made it with, I don't know if you can hear me behind the blanket. I made it with Ice Yarns Angora cakes. And I remember telling you guys when I bought them and they arrived that they're super soft and dense, and they were soft, but they're definitely rougher than I thought, and kind of started getting itchy the more I used them. But maybe I could just have a sensitivity to Angora or something, I don't know. But I was gonna make cardigans out of them, but somehow it turned into a blanket. So here it is. It's the 2 different colors, like the rust colored one, the salmon and rust color is one color cake, and the black or gray and white is the other. But I decided, because I made it a rectangle and not a perfect square, it didn't line up correctly, so I ran out at this last corner of the blanket, and so I went to go buy more of the yarn for the purpose of finishing it, and they're out of stock. They're totally out of stock on, sorry, I think my camera's like tilting to the side. I don't know. If this video is like sideways, I'm sorry. It looks kind of sideways. But yeah, so they're out of stock, so I have to wait for them to get back in stock with that so I can finish that blanket. And I have no idea who it's for. I'm thinking about sending it to my brother because he said he needs a blanket in his house, but I have other plans for him too, so who knows. So yeah, I'm waiting on that yarn to get back in stock so I can finish that and then started on another blanket. Sorry, my Oscar's on his little playpen thing on the floor over there, so he's getting real close to rolling over, so he gets really excited about that. So I started a granny square blanket, and here, I'll show you. Let's see the colors I have so far. I wanted it to be like a happy bright color type of deal, and then it somehow turned into like Easter colors. I don't know. So these are the colors I have so far. Oh, I have orange somewhere. There's an orange here. So here are the colors. So white, dark purple, like this iris. I don't know. It's not, it looks pink in the video, but it definitely is a purple. This baby pink, some bright orange, and then like duckling yellow. And so I kind of feel like it looks like an Easter blanket. I don't know why. And then I was trying to think of a yarn to join with, and I have like this tan one, but because I have white squares, I feel like that would look weird. And then I have like a baby blue one, and I feel like with the pink and yellow, it's gonna end up looking like a giant baby blanket. I don't know, but so the pattern, it is a daisy, or that's what the pattern's called. Let's see. It's called the Lazy Daisy Square. And I got it from that book I showed you guys about. And in the book, it's different colors like you saw, but I was gonna just make one color, the whole blanket one color, solid color yellow squares, and then didn't have enough yellow. So started adding in other colors and using up just yarn I had laying around that was all the same weight. And so now it's like multicolored, and yeah. So I think I'm gonna give it to my neighbor. He always shovels our sidewalk, and he's taking care of his elderly mother who's sick and bedridden, and so I was thinking I would give it to her to use once I finish it. So it's just like a magic ring, and then clusters of double crochet in the middle, triple crochet on the outside, like triple crochet bobbles, and then triple crochet through half double to triple, you know. And then so it's pretty easy, and I think it looks cool. I don't know if anyone else does, but I think it looks like, whoa, that must have taken some work, but it wasn't. It was super easy. So there's that, and then those are the only two things I'm currently working on. So here are some of the finished objects I have. So I can't remember, my husband's taking a nap on the couch. I can't remember if I showed you guys this, but this is a hat I made my son, Killian, out of that Fluffy Cakes ice yarn. Oh, and these are all different kinds of yarn. This yellow yarn is Red Heart with Love, I think. Red Heart with Love. The pink is Red Heart with Love. The white is Red Heart Super Saver. And then all the other colors were just Hobby Tivoli XL that I had laying around, just using them up. So it's not even amounts of each square, so I think it's gonna be interesting. We'll see. I'll show you when I join everything. But yeah, so I made this with the Tivoli Fluffy Cakes, which was actually, it's kind of a difficult yarn to use. I like knitted it up a bunch of times and then hated the way it looked. So just did this through the back loop, single crochet little beanie for him. And I kind of think it looks like a cat butthole, but that's just me. Nobody else says that. But so he wears this hat, and then he came in the other day and his whole face was numb, like his jaw, he was having a hard time talking. And so I decided to make him, I wanted to make him a scarf, but I knew if it was like just a regular scarf, he would lose it or strangle himself. I don't know. So here is this neck gaiter or neck warmer, I don't know, that I made for him out of the same yarn. And it's just like a little turtleneck. He can't pull it off, and actually I need to put it in the wash because it's a little crusty from his nose running when it gets cold. But so there's that. Well, we're going on vacation with our family, and they have a 3-year-old little girl. And so this is bad. So I wanted to make her a matching little set because I have that other color of the Fluffy Cakes, this color. But look what I did. I made it twice as long. I don't know why I made it twice as long as Killian's. So I guess we could roll it down maybe, and it would work for her. But so then I made that, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna try and knit it out of this chenille yarn I had. So I think it looks pretty, but it's way too huge for a toddler to even fit around their neck. It would just go down over her shoulders. So I don't know, maybe I'll use this because I do think it looks pretty, and it's pretty densely knitted. I definitely used a much smaller needle than the yarn that was recommended to use on the yarn because I wanted it to be pretty dense. So that is the chenille from Ice Yarns. I would have to look up the name of it for you guys. And then I was cleaning out something and I found this infinity scarf that I made with a hobby yarn. It's just like a linen stitch, I think it is. And I haven't woven in the ends on any of this stuff. I'm sure you guys saw. But yeah, so I just found this, and it's definitely a wool yarn. It's kind of itchy, but I thought it was kind of cool, and I forgot that I'd even made it. I don't even remember making it, but clearly I did. So there is that. Now, as for future projects, I am going to make a hat for my cousins, or for their 3-year-old, and then I'm gonna make the adults out of wool neck gaiters. And I have a lot of merino wool from the Lether boxes, so I think I'll use those for the adults because I feel like wool will probably keep them a little warmer. I don't know. I'll probably make one and then test it out on myself, like wear it around all day and see if it's too itchy. I don't know, when your skin gets cold, I feel like it gets kind of sensitive, or mine does, so we'll see if that's soft enough for that, or even warm enough, because when you're skiing, I don't know, with the wind blowing and stuff, it might not be warm enough. Something knitted might just be too porous, so we'll see. Also, I was watching Bag-A-Day, and she got that Valentine's Day box from her husband, which I thought was a really good idea. And he bought her some Icelandic wool that was super, super rough, that she was saying you'd have to wear a shirt underneath if you made any kind of wearable out of it. And my husband had just been talking to me about how he loves the sweater I made him, which I will attach pictures of in this video, just because I have no idea where it is actually, and he's taking a nap, so he can't even model it for you guys. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, he bought her an Icelandic wool that was super rough, and my husband was saying he wanted just like a rough, hardy wool sweater to wear outside and keep him warm. And so they are Crystal had been talking about how Icelandic wool is really good for that, and I was like, oh, I should buy some. So I think I'm gonna buy some of that. Maybe we'll see how much yarn I burn through for these blankets and next stuff, just to make room. I don't have a whole lot of room in there because it is the nursery as well right now, so I don't want to take up too much room. And then the last project I was thinking of is another granny square blanket, but I would pick a different square, and it would be for my little brother, who he is living on his own for the first time, not like out of the house on his own. He's lived in apartments with roommates and stuff. I just mean like he doesn't have any roommates or anything, so there's no like shared furniture or shared anything, so it's all he's had to slowly accumulate things to decorate his apartment and everything. So I was gonna make him a granny square blanket. He asked for a blanket, so I was thinking of that, and I just have to see what yarn I have that would work, because he got me some Red Heart Super Saver, like different variegated ones, and so I think I might use those, just because he obviously picked them out, the colors out, and so he probably likes those colors. So yeah, I was thinking of doing that. So as far as future projects, that's all I have planned. So I have been listening to a lot of books. I obviously don't have time to read, or I guess I could have the time, but I can't sit down and use my hands and my eyes to read. So I've been listening to audiobooks, and I don't know if you guys like audiobooks, but I've never really liked them, and it's only recently that I've seen, you know, how great they can be, because I get to read a book while doing chores or feeding the baby or any of those things that I wouldn't necessarily have been able to read during. And I really have missed reading since I became a mom, and I didn't realize how much I had missed it and how little I had been doing until I started listening to audiobooks. So two of the books I'm listening to right now, one is the Damned trilogy, and sorry, the sun is like right in my eyes, by Alan Dean Foster, and that is a story. I always see this Tumblr thread that pops up on Facebook that talks about how crazy would it be if humans were like the badasses of the universe and we just didn't know it. Like, we always, in alien movies, the aliens are always way more powerful technologically than us, and they attack us and we just like have no chance, right? But what if we're actually way cooler than we think we are? Like, we live on a crazy planet with extreme climates, like all the way across the scale, and humans actually, like, as far as recovery from injury and stuff like that, it's much higher. We go into much less shock and recover much faster and can do much more while injured than a lot of other animals in our animal kingdom. And so that was the basis of that Tumblr thread that always pops up on my Facebook. And then hidden in the Tumblr thread was, oh, this sounds like this book by Alan Dean Foster, I think. Is that what I said his name was? Let me see. Alan Dean Foster, yeah. So I downloaded the trilogy. The trilogy only cost 1 credit. All 3 books, they're combined, and they only cost 1 credit. And started listening to it. And that is kind of the premise. I'm only halfway through the first book, so I can't tell you how it goes or how it even ends or anything like that. But it's pretty interesting. The only thing is the main character keeps insisting that humans are peaceful and inherently peaceful, and I would totally disagree with that. Humans are inherently very violent and chaotic, but I don't know, I guess maybe that's a realization he has to come to, and we will come to at some point during the book. But it was really interesting it's interesting to read. It kind of makes you like, oh yeah, humans are really good at this and good at that and all that stuff. So that's one book I'm reading. And then the other book I'm reading is Atlas Shrugged. And I know some of you might be rolling your eyes or laughing or I don't know, but so it's 60 hours on Audible. That's how long the book is, 60 hours. Most books are like 7 hours. So it's a really long book, but my grandpa, it is his favorite book. He has read it like 20 times or something. And he's getting up there in years, and I decided that I should read it so that I can talk to him about his favorite book before I don't have the chance to talk to him about it, you know. And I feel like if I didn't read it and he passed away, then I would regret never having been able to bond with him over this. So I've been reading it, and I'm like, I think I'm a third of the way through. I just finished part 1, and there's 3 parts. And I can see how this book has like shaped my grandpa's life. And it's cool to see that. A lot of the things he like tried to teach me growing up, I can see in this writing. So I think he found it really profound. So I'm going to be seeing him on the ski trip. So I'm looking forward to talking to him about it then. And I don't know, 60 hours, it's quite a feat to finish it. My husband just finished it, and I just started it. So yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. I thought it was going to be more, because every time my grandpa told me about it, he just said, oh, it's about business. And it is about business, and there's a lot of philosophy in it. It's philosophy heavy, but there's also a storyline that's interesting. And if you like court intrigue, I guess is how I would describe it, you'll probably like this book, because it's a lot of figuring out how to make plays to get what you want or need, like the government passing bills to get this, or you finding a way around, or the main characters finding a way around the bills to get what they need. Oh, sorry, he just spit up. Oh, spit up, boy. Oh, spit up, man. Sorry, he's a spit up machine. So yeah, so I don't know, it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I actually know a lot of people really, really hate Atlas Shrugged and the philosophies that are in it. But you know, it's my grandpa's favorite book, and I just wanted to be able to talk with him about it. And if I take something away from it, that's great, whether it's I hate it or I love it or I agree or I disagree, you know. So that is my theory on that. And then as far as TV and movies, I'm sure everyone has been talking about and has seen Bridgerton. And when I saw that it was coming out like way back in November, or probably even farther back than that, I was so impatient for it to come out, because I've read the series of books so many times. I don't know if you guys know this, but I used to do reviews of romance novels. So I have tons and tons and tons and tons of romance novels. And so I've read the Bridgerton series several times, and was so excited for it to be made into a show. And of course it was made into a show right after I had a baby, so all like the steamy stuff, I was like, oh, come on, fast forward, because nobody wants to think about that right after they had a baby. But I really liked it. I thought it was beautiful. The costumes were amazing. The characters were well acted. So I binged it. I finished it in like 2 days. So, and then I was watching Smells Great Guy, or is he Smells Like Yarn on YouTube? I can't remember, but he suggested to watch Dirty Money, and I love watching like true crime about corruption and stuff, because I just think it's interesting for like the corruption to be revealed. And so I burned through all of the Dirty Money stuff, and he said that he used to watch American Greed, and so I'm trying to find that to watch, because I really liked that. And then another thing that I've been watching while I crochet is American Gods on Stars. And this last week an episode didn't come out. It's coming out on Valentine's Day, but I was crazy about that. my husband's read the book and I've gotten halfway through the book. But there's 3 seasons of the show, and it's kind of about when people come over to America from other places, they bring their beliefs with them. And once they reach American soil, their beliefs manifest themselves and almost become an entity of their own in America. And so the American gods are born. They're the same gods that exist in other places, but they're the Americanized versions. And also there's new gods, which are like money and social media and stuff like that. And so it's kind of like religion versus culture fighting. I don't know. I think it's really interesting and cool, and definitely has had me looking up a lot of mythology. So, and then 2 movies that I watched recently that I enjoyed. You can hear my baby over there. Is he still spitting up? Were in the Vast of Night. I think it's called The Vast of Night, and it's a movie about this girl. She is a phone board operator in the 1940s or 50s, 1950s, I think, and she hears a weird static on the radio or on the switchboard when she's working one night, and her and her friend try and figure out what the sound is. So it's the progression of their night as they try harder and harder to figure out what the sound is, and as they do, works at a radio station, and so he starts broadcasting the sound to try and figure out what it is. If anyone knows what the sound is, let us know. And so they start getting callers in, telling them these crazy stories in relation to that sound, and they follow the trail to the end. And I was convinced the whole time that it was a horror movie. It has that kind of like suspenseful feel the whole time. And it's not a horror movie, but I don't know what. I was expecting stuff to jump out constantly. But nothing jumped out. There's no like jumping, scaring type of stuff. But it really sucked to be in, and I really liked it. So if you guys like that. And then the last one was Bliss. You probably have seen it advertised. It's a new Amazon Prime movie with Owen Wilson and what was her name in Bliss? Salma Hayek. And that's about this guy who's not sure he kind of jumps between these 2 worlds with Salma Hayek as his guide, and he's not sure what's real and what's not. So I thought that was interesting. So back to yarn. I have been getting the Lether boxes since I haven't been updating, but I have been getting them. And I actually canceled my Lether subscription just because I wanted to try out a new one. And I liked Lether, and I liked the yarns that they sent. That's not why I canceled it. I just wanted to try out a new one, and I definitely enjoyed discovering how much I like clover hooks, because they send a clover hook with each box. And I hadn't even thought to try new hooks. I've just had been using like the metal Susan Bates ones, but I really like these clover hooks, so I might buy myself some. They're a lot of money to buy a set, but yeah, I think I might do that. And so the new box that I am subscribed to, and I've received the first shipment somewhere, is row 1. So I was watching Crochet Rossetti, and she has this subscription, and so she has all these minis, and she was talking about how she was thinking of making like a little blanket, like a granny square, like stained glass blanket or something. And I saw all the little yarns, and I thought that was such a good idea, and decided I wanted to do that too. So I feel really bad. This wasn't an original idea. She said that, and it sounded like such a good idea. So here, sorry, I dropped it. So they sent like a little stitch marker. Let's see, it's not gonna show. It's like a little heart. And then, and then here are the yarns that were sent with this one. I have the piece of paper somewhere describing them, but my son took it and ran with it, so I actually don't know where it is. So they are merino, So it's gonna be a wool blanket, but I thought that would be pretty cool to do. So we'll see how that turns out. But she inspired me to do this. So I'm gonna be trying that out for a while to make a little blanket. I really like making blankets. I don't know if you guys can tell. And then, so I don't know if you guys, you probably do watch the Canadian Crocheter, and I just watched one of her most recent videos where she talks about the Internet Archives and how she's found like old magazines on there, like crochet and knitting magazines. So I went and I made an account and I looked it up. It's so cool. There's magazines from the 1800s on there. So old, and it's so cool to see like what they thought was worthy of publishing in a magazine, and what, you know, the skill levels were and their ideas were, and how much things have like changed and evolved. So I thought that was so cool, and I think you guys should go to her channel. She has a tutorial about it, the Canadian Crocheter, and she the video is called I think it's like Crochet Talk Internet Fun, something like that. And it's not just like crochet and knitting on there. It's the Internet Archive. There's pretty much anything you can think of on there. But yeah, so that is all I have right now, and I need to get the baby down for a nap. So thanks for listening. Sorry it took me so long to post, and I'll definitely be trying to post again soon. And if you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe. If you're already subscribed, thanks for coming back and watching my video. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone who has kept commenting even though I haven't been posting that much. And I would love to see what you have to say in the comments below. Like, what TV shows have you been enjoying? What color yarn do you think I should join this blanket with? Because I have no idea. I think anything's gonna make it look like an Easter blanket or a baby blanket at this point. What else? Yeah, so I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.